A pleasant good morning. Welcome to Mike's Morning Musings. It is Tuesday, although it feels like Monday for me. It's Tuesday, April 7th, 2026. I had a quick bout of the flu yesterday. Back at it today, though, feeling 100%. And I will start with the Red Sox here today on Mike's Morning Musings. I'm astounded. I'm this 2-8 start is something I certainly did not see. The number from last night that stands out to me is 21. Red Sox lost 8-6 to the Brewers. They're 2-8 so far in the season. The number that stands out for me last night, 21. The Red Sox allowed 21 base runners. Here's the breakdown. They gave up, let's see, a total of 11 hits to the Brewers. There were 8 walks, couple of errors. You can't win baseball games by allowing that many men on base. And speaking of men on base, the Red Sox were 2 for 12 with runners in scoring position, yet they still scored 6 runs. Run prevention hasn't worked. The defense has been horrible. They've committed the second most errors in Major League Baseball. Roman Anthony, 8 defensive runs saved last year. This kid's a good outfielder. I think he's got the yips. That throw last night from left field looked like a player with the yips. What are the yips? Well, remember, Chuck Knobloch had them with the Yankees. Steve Sax had one of the most famous cases. There was a catcher, Mackey Sasser, for the Mets who developed the yips and couldn't throw the ball back to the pitcher. There was Steve Blass, the great pitcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates back in the 70s, who suddenly couldn't throw a strike anymore. They called it Steve Blass disease. Rick Ankiel, the pitcher for the Cardinals, he couldn't throw the ball anywhere near the plate after being a really good pitcher. He converted to being an outfielder and actually had a decent career. But I believe Roman Anthony has the yips. This guy's a good outfielder. Red Sox and Brewers will try it again tonight. The Red Sox will try to snap out of this funk. But you're not pitching. You hit a little bit last night, but generally when you're 2-8, you're not pitching, you're not hitting, and you're not fielding. And if you lose us in a stretch in the middle of July, if you lose 8 out of 10, okay, that's going to happen. But when you begin the season at 2-8, it looks that much worse. So there's that. All right, let's move on because I have a lot of things to get to. Gino Auriemma and Dawn Staley and their little soiree in the women's Final Four on Friday. Gino has always been a dink, and I believe Dawn Staley is as well. So you had dink over here, and certainly Gino acted like an ass on Friday night with the whole handshake business. Dawn Staley, we're talking about 2 horses' asses here in Dawn Staley and Gino Auriemma. So I'm not going to be on Team Gino. I'm not going to be on Team Dawn. They both could grow up a little bit more. Dawn Staley, doesn't even wear anything with the name or the logo of the college. She's wearing something she bought at TJ Maxx off the rack, some designer thing. I don't follow that stuff. But anyway, they both deserve each other. All right, UConn and Michigan last night. Props to my friend Ken Altshuler, a proud Michigan graduate because his Wolverines got it done last night, beating Connecticut 69-63. My brackets, which I happen to have right here, I had Arizona and Michigan in the national championship game. That, of course, did not happen. Arizona knocked out on Saturday. Michigan wins it all last night. Second national championship for the Wolverines. All right, let's move on. We have comings and goings in the high school coaching ranks here this morning. First of all, coming, Mike Hamill taking over the Waterville High School Purple Panther football job. 8-man football is what Waterville plays now. Hopefully Mike Hamill turns this around so well that they end up back at 11-man football. Mike Hamill, 1993 Fitzpatrick Trophy winner, one of the best high school football players I've ever seen play around here. He was, that senior year at Waterville in 93, he was something else. Nearly ran for 1,000 yards. He caught passes out of the backfield. He was a terrific blocker, great defensive player. hopefully Panther pride is back. Mike Hamill played for a great coach in Frank Knight. Hopefully he instills that kind of pride and that kind of performance into Waterville High football and gets them back to prominence in football. I don't care if it's 8-man. I'd rather have it be 11, but if it has to be 8-man, that's fine. But one thing Mike Hamill's got to do is build the feeder system in Waterville. That is where it all begins, and that is why Waterville football has suffered so much, because the feeder system isn't there. Goings, Holly Daigle is stepping down from her coaching job at Coney High School as the field hockey coach. She had been there since 2010. What a terrific, terrific coach Holly Daigle is, and what a terrific person she is. I am sort of an outsider, or a newcomer, if you will, to the field hockey world here the last few years. The field hockey coaches, all of them, have been great to me, but one of the best at it has been Holly Daigle, who has been a great coach and is a better person than she is a coach. Doing Coney games was an absolute joy because she gave me all the info that she could give me before the game, a very gracious winner and loser, and more importantly, a great role model for the girls that she coached. And I'm assuming here that for Holly, it's a matter of her kids getting toward middle school age and wanting to see them play sports, and who can blame her for that? She has been through it all as a coach, nearly won it all there a couple of years ago when they lost to Belfast in the state championship game, but a Class B North title nonetheless a couple of years ago for Holly Daigle. So congrats to Mike Hamill for getting the Waterville job. Congrats to Holly Daigle for doing a great job with the Coney Rams. Can the Red Sox snap out of this? I'll tell you one more thing as we jump back to them. I said this last week, probably more than once, but you can't win the division in April, but you can lose the division in April. And right now the Red Sox are in the process of losing the division in baseball. It's going to take a hell of a tear for them to get back into it. Hopefully it starts tonight. See you tomorrow.